So whatever it is that you want to manifest this week, yes, write it down. If you've got the Moonology Diary, it's perfect for that. You can write it all down. But then also in the diary and anywhere else, you really need to write down some action points. What can you do in order to make this real? So it's what I call a mixture of the woo-woo and the work. All right, so let's talk about this new moon in Aquarius. So this week brings the new moon in Aquarius. Now, apart from anything else, that actually means it's going to be Chinese New Year. Just FYI, I find it really interesting because not a lot of things are still based on the sun and the moon, but obviously the sun and the moon, when they get together on the same degree of the zodiac, we get the new moon, which happens once a month, and that's a lot of very interesting things for people like me who love manifesting and so on. But it's also the new moon in Aquarius every year marks the start of the new Chinese New Year. And I have it on good authority that it's going to be the year of the wood snake. Now, what that actually means, I don't really know. I used to write a feng shui column. I never really got into Chinese astrology, but there you are. If you want to know, new moon in Aquarius, Chinese New Year 2025. It's the year of the wood snake. What we're going to be doing on this week's podcast, though, is we're going to be talking about the Moonology of this week. Actually, I'm going to be reading from my Moonology Diary 2025. If you don't have a copy, I'm not sure if there's any copies left yet, or left still rather, but if there are, you can find them at moonmessages.com/my-diary, moonmessages.com/my-diary, or just Google Moonology Diary 2025. And then when you've got your transaction number, if you buy it online, go to moonmessages.com/my-diary, because if you register your copy there, or if you buy it from there and you register it, you will actually also get full, free, unfettered lifetime access to my Kickstart 2025 workshop, which talks you through all the big astrology of this year. Neptune and Saturn into Aries, Uranus out of Taurus into Gemini, Jupiter out of Gemini into Cancer, eclipses in Virgo and Pisces and God knows what else. Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde, all that. It's all covered in my workshop, the Kickstart 2025 workshop, which is free when you register your diary at moonmessages.com/my-diary. So let's have a look at this new moon in Aquarius. The keywords from the diary, because I have keywords for the new moon every month, so you kind of know what to expect. So actually, the keywords are, funnily enough, powerful words. We will get to why that is. Luck is in the air. So whenever you hear the word luck, you know Jupiter's implicated. Second chances. Ooh, we'll look at that. And then inspiring love. It's all sounding rather romantic if you ask me. So let's drill down on that. But also first, let's give you the times of the new moon this week. So the new moon is taking place on January 29, so literally the last day of the month, in LA at 4:35 a.m. Now, as I record this, LA is having the horriblest time ever with all the fires. Hopefully, by the time you hear this, all those fires will have died down. New York, it's January 29 at 7:35 a.m. London, it's January 29 at 12:35 p.m. And Sydney, it's January 29 at 23:35 p.m. That's 11:35 p.m. So basically the idea is, if you're into Moonology and you're into manifesting, the idea is that you make some wishes as soon as you possibly can after the lunation. But as I saw something the other day, it said something about it's not just your intentions that make your wishes come true. It's actually your vibration and believing you can actually create whatever it is that you want to create. So just have a think about that this new moon week. Are you actually do you actually believe you can make your dreams come true? Are you acting in a way that is likely to be conducive to your dreams coming true? you know, just say, for example, I don't know why I always think of this example, maybe because I'd like to have my own TV show one day. But, you know, if you wanted to have your own TV show, say you do something, or your own YouTube show or whatever, then, you know, what would you do in order to make that happen? Well, you'd probably try and get into shape, because you normally want to feel quite good when you're on TV or on doing YouTube. I mean, I'm kind of hiding behind this podcast this week because I'm in Sydney and I'm completely not camera ready. I've got my hair scraped back in a ponytail, and also I have kind of messed up my regime a bit lately and put on, I hate to say it, but I've put on about 5 kilos, which I hate to say it is about 10 pounds, and I'm not feeling great. So I'm not getting a TV show this week, I don't think. But, you know, and then what would you do? You'd get your teeth whitened probably, or you'd get your hair cut, or you'd contact the producers, or you'd do the running order for the show and all that. So it's really about, like, what would you do if you knew your wishes were going to come true? So whatever it is that you want to manifest this week, yes, write it down. If you've got the Moonology Diary, it's perfect for that. You can write it all down. But then also in the diary and anywhere else, you really need to write down some action points. What can you do in order to make this real? So it's what I call a mixture of the woo-woo and the work. All right, so let's talk about this new moon in Aquarius. It is the first moon of the year. I'm going to read from the Moonology Diary 2025. It's the first new moon of the year. So for our first-time diary users, let's take a moment to remind ourselves what the new moon is all about and how to make the most of it. This year, 2025, is going to bring 12 new moons. Could be 13. This year it's 12. Each one of them is a chance to take a moment to get clear about what you actually want in your life. By doing that, you start to move into a space where not only do you know what you want, but you start to take the steps you need in order to create it. Well, that's exactly what I was just talking about. You know, once you know what you want, and, you know, there is neuroscience behind that. I have been talking about the neuroscience behind it. I was going to interview Dr. James Doty, and unfortunately he cancelled, but I actually think now, I heard he might have been a bit unwell. Hopefully he's all right now and better. But one thing he talks about in his book, Mind Magic, is that when we make a decision or set an intention, e.g. when we make some new moon wishes, or if you've got the Moonology Diary and you write out your intentions in there, and you know you really drill down on what it is that you want to create in your life, the way he explains it in his book is that basically you then kind of set up all these, I don't know, let's say little soldiers. Reminds me of when I was trying to explain something to my son when he was really little, Louis. But, you know, imagine there's all these little soldiers that are going to go out and do what you need to do, what needs to be done in order to make your dreams come true. So essentially what it is, the neuroscience is that, you know, it activates a part of the brain, and I have to be honest, I haven't memorized the name of the part of the brain, and you know, even if I did, it wouldn't mean much because I wouldn't actually know what it means. I would just know the name of it, but I will try and get around to memorizing the name. It might be the reticular system, I don't know. But it basically, what Dr. James Doty explains in his book, Mind Magic, is that it activates the brain. And once you've activated this intention, what your brain does is, if you imagine it like this little put-put thing that's spitting out little put-puts behind your, you know, at the back of your brain or whatever, always reminding you this is what you want. So look out for opportunities, look out for signs that it's happening. Just keep your eyes on the prize and just keep thinking. Okay, it does it for you. It's a bit like, you know, you don't have to think about breathing. It's a bit like that. Once you set an intention, you will start to take the action you need to do in order to create whatever it is you want to create. So that's why we make new moon wishes, and that is why they work. So this is one of the things that this diary helps you with the most, helping you to get into a headspace where you not only know what you want, but you start to create it. In fact, this diary is very much about activating the law of attraction, even though it's called the Moonology Diary. I feel like we could almost call it the Moonology Law of Attraction Activation Diary. So each month, so I'm telling you a bit about what's in the diary. Each month, so those of you who've got it, great. If you haven't got it, grab it. Just Google Moonology Diary. Each month, you'll be asked what steps you need to take in the coming 24 hours, the next week, and the next month to achieve your current biggest goal, wish, or intention. Taking action is crucial when you're manifesting. I'm just going to say that again because a lot of people think you can just make a wish and it will come true. It's not like that. Taking action is crucial when you're manifesting. Some people prefer to call this new moon wishing or new moon magic. And other people call it getting clear on your goals and taking action. So, you can call it new moon wishing or new moon magic, or you can just call it getting clear on your goals once a month at the time of the new moon, which is something that people have done for eons and eons, made, set intentions at the new moon, made wishes, sent out spells and whatever. Whatever you choose to call it is up to you. You just need to know that it's a core part of the magic of what I call Moonology. Okay, so you just need to know that getting clear on your goals and taking action is a core part of the magic of Moonology. This new moon has some very positive alignments. There could be lucky breaks thanks to a Jupiter alignment. Now, really what's going on in the skies at the time of the new moon is that we do have the new moon harmonizing with Jupiter. So that means the sun and the moon, which happen to be at 9 degrees of Aquarius, are in a harmonious aspect called a trine to Jupiter in Gemini. Now, of course, if you happen to be Aquarius or Gemini or the opposite signs, which are Leo and Sag, that is particularly good for you. But no matter what sign it is, really the quality of the new moon will dictate how it feels to all of us. And this is positive because it's harmonizing with the lucky planet Jupiter, which is about adventure and study and travel and broadening the mind. And so it's a really, really positive new moon. There's also a lovely Venus-Neptune alignment that is bringing romance to the fore, okay? Especially if you happen to be making wishes to do with relationships. Now, the reason for that is that Venus, the planet of love, is at 25 degrees of Pisces, and she is oh so close to Neptune, the planet of dreams. It's also a really, really good time to be dreaming up inspirational ways to make money in the year ahead if you're not really sure about how things are going to go for you financially. And the reason why I did say that powerful words are also around is because Mercury will have just moved over Pluto, Mercury being the planet of words and communication and Pluto being the planet of power. One last thing to add, just be careful if you're involved with someone romantically or financially who you think is a little bit dodgy, just be careful because that Venus-Neptune can somewhat backfire. And if you have my diary, turn the page to page 46 and I've got a special section on how to make new moon wishes. If you don't have the diary, Moonology Diary 2025 will get you it, and I'll put the link in the description as well. So that is really what I wanted to offer you for this week, because I'm actually going to be in India when this comes out, and I'm doing something called Panchakarma. You may have heard me talk about this before, but it's a very, very intense yogic treatment, and they don't really want me on my phone or my computer or anything like that while I'm doing it, so I'm recording these in advance. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do a new moon anything while I'm there. Depends what kind of state I'm in. For those of you who've ever done Panchakarma, I'm sure you could tell me because I've never done it, but apparently it's really intense. So either I'll see you on Facebook for my regular new moon update. I'll definitely be doing something for my members. Might be a pre-record. But I will be back as soon as I can. And in the meantime, have an amazing, amazing new moon. Sending you lots and lots of love. See you later. Speak next week.